You had to take the Post-it note off if you'd never had multiple orgasms. And I remember my mum and my auntie still sat with the Post-it notes on. And I was like, you've not.
And Mum, having had, I want to say, at least 5 glasses of champagne, came and joined us in the gym for a little workout. I just thought, it's a health and safety nightmare.
Wow.
It's Peppa Pig, but with a really long snout. So it basically looks like a cock and balls, doesn't it? But in bright pink and with a number 3 next to it. It's like, that's not okay. Hello, Claire Hamilton.
Hello, Sara Carr.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome along to Teen Commandments, the show where we try to untangle the often batshit crazy brains of our teenagers, and also whilst trying to untangle our own minds. Welcome along to the show. Tell everybody you know about this podcast so that we can help Claire stop hairdressing and she can buy, well, at the last count, were you going to have a place in Mallorca, one in Paris, one in Wales?
Yes.
This is what we're
Mobley
planning.
is my other one.
Mobley.
Mobley.
Where's Mobley?
It's kind of South Manchester.
Lovely.
It's very nice.
A bit like Knobbly Bobbly, the lolly, but Mobley.
It will be when I get there.
You'll be a nobbling and a bobbling. I hope you've had a lovely few days. It's been busy in our house. More on results day later on if you've been going through that particular roller coaster. Meanwhile, have you had a good week since we last spoke, Claire?
Yes, I have. I did a little celebration of a roundup of all of my friends' 50ths.
Now, I saw something very briefly on your socials at Claire Hamilton, no I in the Claire, __, is that right? And I thought it can't be anything to do with Claire's 50th. That was in November.
Well, what happened was I was holding a little soiree for a friend of mine whose 50th has just passed.
Yes.
And she's in a little bit of a mood about turning 50. She doesn't like it and she doesn't want to celebrate it. And we'd had it planned for a while, but she decided that she didn't want to.
Didn't want to fuss.
She didn't want to fuss. And so she went off to Wales with her fella. Fine. We all carried on and celebrated, but all of our joint 50ths instead that have already passed. So we had a cake with all of the dates on and stuff, and we just did that instead.
Very nice. Who was it who buggered off to Wales?
Kate buggered off to Wales.
So she not had a celebration with her pals yet?
No, she's done nothing, not with family or anything. She just doesn't want to accept it.
It's fun over this side. I'm loving I'm loving 50. It's brilliant.
Do you know, I always, and I know that everybody feels different, but I always think it's such an honour, isn't it, to get to a certain point and a certain kind of milestone.
And also I just feel like, you know, if you've got teens and they're a little bit older and they're older teens, you're kind of just getting more of you back, more of time back for you.
That's right.
Ideally, where you can just, you know, think about numero uno for a change.
This is so true. This is very true.
So you had a lovely time?
The lovely time, and I managed to cook on my new Kamado, which is like a barbecue /egg type thing, and you can slow cook in it.
So it's one of those shaped like an egg with a lid on it?
Yes. It's like a clay oven inside. So I did some pulled pork the day before. I slow cooked it in there.
You went posh for pulled pork.
I did. And then...
What do you mean it's like a clay oven inside of this construction?
Of the egg.
You don't have it inside of the house?
No, you have it outside.
Yes, it's an outdoor thing.
It's an outdoor oven, and mine's only little. So I just did a little bit of pork in it, and it was really nice. And we had a lovely time, and then I woke up in my garden.
I was going to say, you called it a soiree, which sounded very classy.
Yes, it was.
And ended with you snoozing off in the garden. Did you spend the entire night in the garden?
No, I woke up in the early hours because we'd had a little fire pit going. And
did everybody left? Like, bye?
No, they'd all got in various beds and couches and stuff.
Did you at least have a little blankie over you?
No, I had a hoodie on and just kind of woke up. And then I was just more bothered about whether the neighbour had seen me.
Love that you had a hoodie on.
I had a hoodie on, just slumped in the garden. Like, oh, look at her with her new furniture.
Yes, she may well have that new furniture. And she may well have what's it called over you?
A pergola.
She may have a pergola. Is it a pergola?
I think it's...
Is that right? Or pagoda?
Pagoda.
She may well have... That doesn't sound that right either, does it? She may have some fancy garden furniture, let's call it, and a shelter. But at heart, she's still falling asleep with her hoodie on.
To get a grip. So what about you? What's gone on?
Well, it's been busy. It's been busy every weekend for a couple of weekends. And so I wasn't really up for a day at the races. However, I went to Newmarket with my mum and sis, and actually the races was really lovely. I met some lovely people there and said hello to a few people. We watched a few races. We had a few bets. I was driving. I was designated driver because I'm not drinking at the moment.
Okay.
And you do notice little things like, when the champagne's flowing, like you've got to get every last drop out of that bottle, haven't you? And this, especially when I was watching the clock and people around us getting a bit more sozzled, wanting selfies and stuff and getting the volume increasing a little bit. And then,
does it grate on you a bit?
When you're sober and everyone else is drinking?
Repeating themselves a little bit too much.
You know what? To be fair, with my mum and sis, they didn't really seem any different.
Right.
They perhaps had a few glasses. They seemed fine, but you just feel the atmosphere change slightly when there's loads of people there. Yeah. In fact, all the women that I met were lovely. There was just a couple of guys who were going, Sara, Sara, like shouting it. And you know me, I'm actually quite shy in real life. I'm really chilled. Yeah. So actually, if they'd come over and gone, hey, I'd have been like, hi. But instead, when they're shouting me,
they're drawing attention to you as well.
Yeah, it's embarrassing because I just get dead cringed out then. I'm like, oh. So we left, drove to the hotel in Cambridge, which was lovely. Newmarket was good. I mean, with me, it's just all about the horses. Yeah, is Jackie quite horsey? She is. Well, my granddad on my dad's side used to go to the races a lot, and I think owned one hoof of a racehorse at one point. Okay. So I think in the sort of 60s and especially the 70s, I think they were always going to meetings. And she knows all about. She's like, oh well, it's dropped. It's 13-7 now. I mean, I don't know what any of it means. Right. Okay. When you put on a fiver each way. I had a friend at work who thought a fiver each way meant that the horses ran one way and then ran back the other. No, it doesn't mean that. But Jackie's all over it. She knows what she's doing. And it was nice. We had lunch, so it was a lovely day out. But once we left, we went back to the hotel in Cambridge and we all toddled off to our rooms. And Mum, having had, I want to say, at least 5 glasses of champagne, came and joined us in the gym for a little workout. I just thought, it's a health and safety nightmare. Wow. She's had half a bottle of, near enough a bottle of champagne. And she's on the treadmill. Flipping heck. Age, 70. Wow. 78 next. And so impressive. And we were really filming her. That's really difficult to do, isn't it? Yeah. It's what? Really difficult to do that. What? A bit of exercise after a bit of booze. Yeah. And my sister who'd had, maybe 3 or 4 glasses was also on a Peloton. I was like, jeez. So we're all having a little workout at this little hotel gym and there was no one else in there. And then we're starting to teach little Jackie how to do tricep exercises. When you hold a weight behind your head and then you've got to straighten your arms and put it back down behind your head. I think this is where the champagne showed. She did 1 set. She's on a 2 kilogram. Right. She's doing 1 set and every time she lifts it, she's going, oof. Oof, she went more northern with each oof as she did it. And then we're like, right, have a break between. I'm like, you've got great form, Jackie. It's better to do, just do a few as long as you keep your form good. I'm like, right, come on, next set. And she held it above her head and just went, like just lifted it up off her head and back down. I was like, no, you've forgotten how to do it already, haven't you? Like, do it here. I'm like, can I film it to send to the kids? I'm like, workout with Jackie available on DVD soon. No one replied apart from Ben. Obviously, I thought all the kids would be like, "Hey, go G-Ma." Completely ignored me. But yeah, it was nice. We toddled off to a pub. So a weekend that, don't get me wrong, I wasn't dreading because it's important to spend time with family. But when you're busy at work, a lot of people listening now will know that feeling where it's family time and you feel selfish for not being excited about it. But all you want to do is sort of potter around your house with no makeup on. You need that balance. Yeah, wearing a croc. Yeah. And, croc and a sock. Greasy hair and just be pottering around, sorting out a cupboard, watering plants. Yeah. Just chilling. Yeah, it's all about the balance, isn't it, babe? It's really important to have
have that, just that little bit of peaceful time. I think to have a reset and you've not had any time, have you? Not recent.
It's been busy recently.
Yeah.
It's been busy. I've been booked and busy, as the young people say at work. But obviously, I always caveat, because you feel ungrateful when you've got a job that you love. You feel ungrateful saying that you're busy. But I just need to try and keep weekends.
Yeah, you need to just have a little bit of
I know I'm too busy when I'm like, oh, I get off now. Like, it's like the equivalent of like looking at sexy photos or sort of fantasizing about, food or whatever. What I do now, I look at my diary. And I'm like, whoa.
You see a little
I'm like, whoa, look at October. Whoa, there's nothing in there. Oh, November, I'm doing nothing each weekend. Come on. I'm like, whoa, it gets me all excited.
Some fake appointments in for it and things.
Well, there's sometimes when it does that in your phone,
yeah,
where you're like, oh, what am I doing on that day? And then you're looking, it'll be Guy Fawkes, and there'll be something that's in everyone's diary. You're like, oh, it's fine, it's okay.
I used to do that as a young stylist when I worked for someone else. I'd put like, just make a phantom client up.
Would you?
Yeah, just at the last one on a Saturday, like, oh, she's not turned up, that woman. Anyway, bye.
Did we talk about this when you were putting stuff in my phone for me? Did we mention this last time? Because I always put notes in my phone, just because otherwise I get to the radio and to do the Sarah Cook's Breakfast Show and I think, what have I done? I can't remember. And I looked through my notes when we were driving to Camp Bestival.
Yeah.
And I said to put in that note about that guy, because he was funny. He was on a motorbike, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, with his legs spread.
Looked like he was airing out his balls. And he was wearing a Cuban heel. And I said, just write in man airing balls. I mean, I can't say that on the radio too, obviously. I had to skirt around the ball issue. And then underneath it, you wrote, Clare is great in every single way or something. I didn't notice it for days and days. And then I was looking on the radio at my notes and I was like, oh, she's so cheeky. She's put in a cheeky added note. Right, if you want to join in with the show in any way, by the way, hello@teencommandments.co.uk. Tell us your stories, what you've been up to. Maybe you are stretching out your 50th birthday to extreme proportions like Clare and her pals are. Maybe you've been having some family time with parents and siblings. Do you regress back to being your teenage stroppy self when you're in the company of family? I think that always happens a little bit when I'm,
Yeah, I do that a bit with my mum.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Any stories, send them in, please. So we asked the question of the week, what song do you and your teen love to belt out in the car together? And we had some great responses. Wendy says, my teenage daughters and I all sing along to American Pie. Excellent. They first heard it on a playlist of mine, but it's now made it onto their playlists. That's the dream. I love that they listen to such a mix of old and new music. That's all thanks to you, Wendy. She says they've got Billy Joel followed by SZA. Very cool. Claire, what's Claire saying, Claire?
Claire says, me and my daughter do a lovely shouty version of Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Nice, because you can do the in the shallow, shallow.
Oh, yeah. If it comes on in the car, that's brilliant. I love shouting, singing in the car.
Well, speaking of which, I think this is one of your songs. You sing along to a lot of Eminem, don't you, with your daughter?
Yeah, we do.
Amanda loves Lose Yourself, Eminem. It's her daughter's pre-racing song because she's a swimmer and we belt it out as loud as possible and the car bounces. Yes. It is great that. I love listening to that when I'm training, when I was getting ready for doing the challenge and all that jazz. Yeah, and all that. Great. Vomit on a sweater already. Mum's spaghetti, something, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
My daughter can do a lot of Eminem verse for verse and stuff. She knows it off by heart. And then
are you just beatboxing it
I'm
background?
pretending to sing it too, but I don't know the words. You know when you shout the last word
just
every
the
now
last
and
word
again.
of every line of the chorus.
Someone turn the music off. You'd sound horrific.
We thought it could be nice seeing as I was going on about it so much last week, but obviously it was quite on my mind and I'm sure it was on a lot of yours. Feel free to tell us all your stories about A-level results day. At the time of recording this, I've still got GCSE day to come. 2 days' time. GCSEs are out. But last week was results day for A-levels and also up in Scotland for hires and advanced hires. and also I think it's T levels, if I remember
Where
correctly.
do you store this information?
It's all in, because we were talking about it so much last week, all the different exams in Scotland and in across the nations as well. So let us know how you did. I can reveal, if you heard me on breakfast, you'll know, but either way, my son got into the university of his choice.
Well done!
Very, very proud, thank God, because he worked so hard.
Yeah, he did.
And Ben was at home with him. They had a laptop each. My son had UCAS open, and husband had his email open, waiting for the email from the school with the grades.
What happens then? What do you have to do?
Well, so what happens is you get a message from UCAS,
right?
And that's what happened with us, where my son got the message first to say that he'd got in.
Oh, wow!
And he'd been
he didn't know his grades.
Yeah, he didn't know his grades, so they just knew that he'd done well enough.
Fantastic.
And then he got his grades through on email, and he got AAC, which is amazing for history, English, and then the C for maths, which was that really, really tricky maths exam.
There was loads of TikToks about it.
Yeah, loads of TikToks. There was petitions about it. Got on the 9 o'clock news. So I think he's feeling pretty grateful for that C. And also none of it really matters now, because it's done the job that it needed to do. He got that all important A to go and study, and he's studying in London at a brilliant uni.
Very fancy.
So I'm really excited for him. And I'm also...
He's staying at home?
No, he's not staying at home, but he's got to be in London. So I'm really pleased, because it was London or Leeds. And obviously Lola's up in Leeds. I would have been really happy if he'd gone to Leeds, but I can't lie. I'm thrilled that he's going to be in London, so we can meet up occasionally. He's not too far away. And Leeds, it's only a couple of hours on the train. It's been great with Lola being there, and it's a fantastic uni. Okay. And a great city, actually. But yeah, I'm pleased that he's not gonna be living at home. He's gonna be in Oz a residence. I don't know how often we'll see him, to be honest, but we will see him at some point. So it's quite nice. And he's got so many mates over the last couple of years. He's really got, he's built up a really lovely friendship group, and loads of them are staying in London to study. So if everyone was buggering off everywhere to Bournemouth and Bristol and Edinburgh and Cardiff or whatever, then I'd be like, oh, he's sort of stuck in London. But as it is, loads of his mates are in London. So, but yeah, so, God, what a day though. So they came in at 8 a.m. That was during the news. Right. And husband said, I'll only ring you if it's good news about the results. Okay. So I was stood there, and the entire team felt sick as well. They were all fully invested. Isn't it weird when you're nervous when you do that stretching? When you stretch your arms out. Right. Do you know what I mean? No. When you're nervous, you probably don't notice that you do. When you're waiting for something like that, I just get really stretching. It's so weird. It's like a physiological thing that you need to do. Maybe it's because your muscles are naturally, because you're tensing. I just kept stretching all morning, going, counting down the time. And then I thought, if it's gone catastrophically bad, I'm going to have to be on air. And I'd mentioned on air, I'd not gone on about it, but I kept kabobbling all my words up, and it's because my head was all over the place. I was in bits waiting, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm waiting for this is why I can't speak properly. I'm waiting for my son's results, and I thought, oh God, if what will happen if it's gone so bad? And I'm still on air for another 90 minutes. Yeah, and your head's gone. Yeah, my head's gone, and hold it together. Luckily, it all went great. So during the 8 o'clock news, I just saw a message. No, he'd actually texted me that he'd got into the unit, but I didn't see that. I just saw a text from my son saying, can you talk? So I thought, surely it's got to be good news if he wants me to call him. And then I went out the studio, and producer Patrick was like, I can press your song out of the news. It's fine. Just go. And I was like, well. And he's like, I got it. I was like, it was amazing. It was amazing. So hopefully, if you're listening now and you've been going through the same thing, hopefully you had good news. And if not, you went through clearing and it has all come out in the wash and your kids are sorted. We'd love updates. Tell us how it was for you. Yeah. Hello at teencommandments.co.uk. And it's one of those things where I'm just when I wake up, I keep remembering that it's done
It's
and it's gone
done.
okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? I guess if you don't get into where you plan to do, I mean, it's the cliche, isn't it? But things do happen for a reason, don't they? And
Yeah.
you still have the best time, don't they? And everything just works out, doesn't it?
Yeah, you end up where you're sort of meant to be, really.
Yeah, with your people and that kind of thing. I know my friend's daughter, she didn't get, it was college though, but she didn't get into the college that she wanted to get into. And for the first sort of few days, she was devastated.
Yeah.
But now she is so excited to start that term. It's really,
brilliant.
really good. But yeah, fantastic news though. Congrats, babe.
I know, I'm so chuffed. We've just got GCSEs to get through. So we'll fill you in on that next time, maybe in a couple of episodes' time. But it was cute because he went, I didn't see him all day. I got back from work and I was actually going off filming, doing Marvellous Miniature Workshop after the breakfast show. So I was away all day and then I got back and no sign of him. He was round at his mate's house. And then 9 o'clock he came in and that's my bedtime. But I went scampering downstairs. I made him jump. There's me, my vest top and my sleeping bra and my fringe all pinned. He was like, blooming heck, he made me jump then. I'm like, well done. And I was like, why are you making a coffee? He's like, I'm going out. I'm like, God, it's going out. It's going out, celebrating his A-levels. Loads of clubs were putting on sort of A-level celebration nights.
I love how he's having a coffee.
Coffee to boost him up.
Flipping heck.
Very well behaved. Well,
very well.
As I was leaving for work at 5:30 a.m, he just got in. And when we were his age, bumping into your parents when you just got in from pulling an all-nighter was not the thing you wanted to do, was it? The last thing you wanted to do. But he seemed absolutely fine. Doesn't really drink. I think he had a couple of shots and stuff. He was fine.
We were crawling. We were like, quick, hide for yourself in a bush.
We would have been hiding, would have been paranoid, then we'd have been giggling, and then we'd have just been noisy and been like, shh, and just would have been all over the place, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Trying to avoid Sylvia or Jackie, whoever's going to bust us. So yeah, I was like, God, the difference with that generation is so funny. And as I was
the
like,
lies that we told as well. They're just blatant. Like, where have you been? Nowhere. I've only had one.
Yes, just like, but it's 5 a.m. So yeah, it was cute. And off I told, although I was still quite annoying because he was still probably quite tired.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you do lots of dancing? I was all perky. I just got up for work. Yeah. Bye. God, off she goes. So yeah, send us your stories, please. We would absolutely love them. We thought it'd be nice to just chat to you a little bit about Camp Bestival. We went last year. This was our second time at the festival. It happens in beautiful Dorset.
It was lovely. We always get good weather, haven't we, so far?
Yes.
In doing that. It's really beautiful.
We have had bad weather in the past when we've been there as a family, where there was a terrible storm that whipped the top off our yurt. One moment we were inside and the kids were only little. They were all just in their little camp beds. And also me and Ben, I think, had been like having a few little wines the night before. Felt terrible. And the storm was whipping around us and the heavy rain. The roof disappeared and blew off across the campsite. And suddenly we were inside 1 second. There was a big ripping noise, literally like roof gone. And then it was raining inside on us and on the children. And Ben fully admits that he was like just panicked. And I turned into some sort of, I don't know, emergency, kind of like, I don't know, I just was...
You handled it.
I was really calm, yeah.
Right.
I just gave him the car keys and went, go and get the car. And he went, okay, went and got the car. And by that point, I was packing things up. Yeah, I was like, over there. And but I mean, I tell you what, it's not, you don't want it to happen, but for a hangover cure,
yeah, I can imagine.
Losing half your yurt, that adrenaline dump, it was brilliant. I was absolutely buzzing. So like in my head, I'm like, I'm saving my kids in the middle of like a disaster movie, like the storm. And they were all soggy. I remember going getting Lola changed in the toilets at M&S on the way home because we had to pull over because they were all just in soggy pajamas.
Aww.
Bless them. But like you say, beautiful weather.
We got gorgeous weather and it was such a fantastic, I said this last time, such a great atmosphere, isn't it, there?
Yeah. And you know what's really lovely? It's a I mean, what was quite funny was that my little niece was there. Well, I say little, she's 22, with her mate, and they were like, "There's so many children," and you forget you're like, yeah, it's a family festival, loads of kids, but loads of teenagers as well. And what's actually really nice, I think, when you're a parent of teenagers, is to find somewhere where you can go and socialise, have a few drinks, and watch some music, but do it with your teenagers.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's definitely, it caters for everyone like that. And I was so impressed. I mean, I've never done festivals like that, have I? But everyone just wheels the kids around, don't they?
Yeah,
well.
The little ones are in these little trolleys, that they just push them around in. And there's loads of what's really nice as well is that there's loads of teens and it's safe, so they can go off, and go and party. We'd love your experiences if you've been to a family festival this year, please, how it went, how you negotiated the bedtimes, when they should get back, you know, whether you caught them getting up to any bad behaviour, or more likely whether they caught you getting up to some bad behaviour, maybe having a few too many drinks, getting overexcited and forgetting yourself slightly. Because I think what we found out, what we did is we did a show in the library tent. It's like a little stage show, and we play some games. We don't record it, because I don't know about you, I'm a huge fan of podcasts. And I don't like when they do a live episode, because I think it sounds different. The energy is different. You can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
You're a bit off mic over here while you're chatting to someone. And it's never quite the same as just me and you blathering on, sitting on an armchair each like we do now, doing it like this. So we don't record it. We just do it so that we can go out and meet people who listen to the pod. So thank you to everybody who came. Loads of people came.
Oh, it was so good.
Hundreds and hundreds of people.
We had people crying with laughter, didn't we, in the audience?
It was
so brilliant. Such a great show.
And I think that what sort of unifies everyone who came along to it was that most of them were parenting teenagers. Or they had pre-teens. But it was a real support group, wasn't it?
It was like a confessions tent, wasn't it?
It was like counselling mixed up with confessions. And a couple of things struck us. First off, we've got to say thanks to a woman called Jo she got in touch with you, didn't she?
Yeah, because we said on here, if you go in, please send us an email. So she sent an email in, and we had a little Zoom about her husband, because we did something called Top of the Pops, didn't we?
Yes.
And we surprised her husband we did a game where all the dads stand up and then sit down if this isn't you, and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And we went through that, and
we read out a series of clues, didn't we?
Right.
And it was like, if this doesn't sound like you, sit down.
Yes, yeah.
And she was great, wasn't she? She was so secret squirrel.
Yeah.
It just shows how far a woman will go to set her husband up. She was sending us photos of what he was wearing that day, so we knew how to spot him. And I think she fully embraced it. So, Joel, thank you so much.
I think she had one of her teens at one point being a bit difficult as to whether they were coming to watch us at one point, because she messaged, she's like, I'm having a bit of trouble getting them to the tent.
God.
But they were there, and he was such a good sport, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was brilliant. It was cute because all the dads stood up in the tent, and we were like, look at who you're with today. Like, can you trust them? Have they set you up? So all the dads looking around at everyone. And the first clue was we said, sit down if this isn't you. And the first clue was your youngest child would say that your worst habit is farting. Yeah. And no dad sat down. All the dads were like, yeah, that could be me, to be fair. I think they were all like, yep. Fair. All glancing round at each other like, yep, fellas, yep, we all fart too much. Good. And then the best clue was the one you read out about how how he loves to cry.
Yeah, one born every minute, and then Armageddon starring Bruce Willis. He always stops at the end.
He cries at the end of Armageddon. It's so good. And then he was like, yeah, this is me,
this
isn't
is definitely me.
So it was lovely stuff,
He had the cake, didn't he? We had the birthday cake that he'd made of Peppa Pig.
Oh my God, yeah. The birthday cake. I mean, what came out that was lovely about Chris actually was that they'd met. I think Jo already had maybe had two children, maybe.
Yeah.
And he really took like a duck to water to being a stepdad.
That's
and they obviously all, thought the world of him. And then they went on, I think, had a little girl.
That's it.
And when that little girl was 3, he made her a birthday cake, which is amazing. But the birthday cake, I mean, maybe we need to put it on our socials,
Yeah, we
actually.
should.
Oh no, it might be on there, actually, on the little video.
Oh, yeah, it is on the video. Yeah, you're right.
If you go to Teen Commandments socials on Insta, you can see that the little video's up there with this bloody cake to say that it's phallic. So it's Peppa Pig, but with a really long snout. So it basically looks like a cock and balls, doesn't it? But in bright pink and with a number 3 next to it. It's like, that's not okay. But apparently the little girl obviously thrilled with it, didn't realise how I mean, imagine being one of the friends going round for the party that day. They must have all been like, Chris, what the hell is that? What have you done? And we did another game as well, which was interesting because the teenage boy was there with his mum, and this is the sit down game where everybody stands up, and it's like Never Have I Ever, isn't it, basically? And we start off and all the kids are playing along, and you start off pretty
lame,
pretty gentle.
Yeah, that's right.
With sort of, sit down if you've never left a wet towel on the bathroom floor. And then it escalates and escalates. We pick off all the kids. We have to make sure the kids are sitting down. By the time we get to if you've never been pulled over by the police, sit down if you've never been pulled over by the police. And then the last one was we were like, surely we'll get rid of a few people now. And we said, sit down if you've never got fruity, had sex in a car. That got rid of a few people. But there was this one woman stood there, and she just looked like the most mum ever, didn't she? She was really lovely, but she didn't look particularly wild. She was there with her teenage boy who was mortified, because then I think the next question was, sit down if you've never had sex in your parents' bed. And we lost the chap at the front who was still stood up. He sat down. He was like, that's way too much. This mum still stood up with a teenage boy next to her.
He was mortified, like you say, wasn't he? He just kept looking up, Mom!
Going, what? And then the last one where she remained standing was, sit down if you've never had sex in a graveyard, which is the classic. And she remained stood up. Everyone was like, what? So she won the game. And he was and I think it speaks to how, I guess, teenagers, your kids in general, they're in denial, or they just don't consider that you had a life before you had them.
Yeah, that's right.
You're a teenager once yourself, and you might be pretty well. I mean, my mum used to say, you young'uns, you think you invented sex? She'd say to us when I was in my 20s or whatever, which just immediately made me be sickening now.
I remember going to an Ann Summers party with my mum and my auntie. God. And we all had these Post-it notes on our foreheads. I can just remember it, but you had to take the Post-it note off if you'd never had multiple orgasms. And I remember my mum and my auntie still sat with the Post-it notes on. And I was like, you've not.
Oh my God. You're like, no, my ears, I can never.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't know what's going on.
Take it off, Sylvia. Take it off. Yeah, he was, it was a bit of that, wasn't it? He was absolutely horrified. Because we got him up to help out on one of the next games. Yeah. And I said, what's your name? Who are you here with? And he went, I'm thinking. And I'm here with that woman who used to be my mother. Yes. We're like, oh.
He was a great sport. It was full of really fun people, wasn't it? It was brilliant. So good. So, thanks so much if you came along. And also, broader than that, we would love to hear from you. If any of those stories ring a bell, maybe, the moment as a teenager where you realise that your parents had a sex life. I mean, disgusting. What are they playing at? He was so old. They must have been knocking 50 and still having sex. hello@teencommandments.co.uk, or equally, if you've had moments with your teenagers where they're just like, ooh, don't. Let us know if you will. And we will be back on Wednesday with our Your Turn episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please share these episodes and get in touch. Tell us your stories, and we'll be back with some of your excellent tales, which always an interesting listen. Oh, fabulous.
Can't wait on a Wednesday. Until then, we loves you. Thanks for listening. Claire.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you.